Hello and welcome to the Nova Show. I'm your host, Chris Nova. Welcome to the show. Here at the Nova Show, we do what I want when I want because it's my fucking show. Welcome to the show, everyone. How are you all doing? How's everybody doing today? So exactly 1 year ago, it's been 1 year to the day. 1 year to the day. 1 year ago, we were here live on my Twitch channel, and I had decided to install Mastodon. Right back over. Who was here for that? Show of hands. Who was here on that faithful episode where I decided to be like, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna go install Mastodon. This seems like a better alternative than going and dealing with all that bullshit on Twitter and Elon Musk. Who was here for that? Show of hands. Bjorn was here. Come here, Bjorn. Oh. So Bjorn was here. He's a good boy. And so Bjorn was here. I was here. We had a lot of people in the show, and I had decided to install Mastodon. We SSH'd into Alice behind me. We exposed port 443 on the firewall. We set up a reverse Nginx proxy in front of the Ruby Rails proxy. And we installed the Mastodon package on Arch Linux, and I went and bought a domain. I picked out hachyderm.io because it was the only one that was available. I didn't even know that there was .social and .lol and .pizza and everything else. I had no idea those were even extensions at the time. And we turned on the server, and I think it was 3 or 4 months we were here in Twitch. And we didn't have nobody joined. It was like me, and it was some of my friends from work, and it was my cat who's not here. It was my dog who is here. And we hung out, and we posted cat pics and had fun, and it was a cool little community. And then people from Discord started showing up. Cool. People from Twitch started showing up, and exactly 1 year later, it has been a wild fucking ride between Elon Musk doing his shit on Twitter to people rage joining Mastodon and coming on board to Hachyderm to forming the Nivenly Foundation and starting Aura. It's been wild. So tonight, I am making the decision to remove myself as the admin of Hachyderm. And you might be asking yourself, why is Nova Pants removing herself as the admin of Hachyderm? And so one of the things I promised myself is I will be completely truthful and honest in everything I have to say tonight, regardless of if people like it or not. Y'all are gonna get the unfiltered, unbiased, raw Chris Nova here. So why am I removing myself? Well, one, I put the Mastodon admin roles and responsibilities on par with the term DevOps. It literally means a different thing to everybody you talk to. Some people think the admin is the benevolent overlord of a server. Some people think an admin is the content moderator. Some people think the admin is the infrastructure engineer who is accountable for keeping the servers online. Some people think the admin does it all. Some people think that the admin is there to help the community. Some people think the admin is there to, I don't know, do normal administrative-y things and help with content filtering and hashtag maintenance. The truth is that we don't really have a clear definition of what an admin is supposed to do. And I will be completely candid. Y'all, I didn't do shit. I don't even have Mastodon installed on my phone. I haven't touched Hachyderm in 6 months, I don't think. I like, honestly, like I log in on my browser every once in a while. But yeah, I just kind of quit doing stuff. There's a whole group of people in the Discord who have been managing it, and you know, they're doing a great job. So we're gonna let them continue to manage it moving forward. So what I will do, for the sake of I guess history or historical or documentation or whatever, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take whatever questions people want to ask. You can ask them now in the Twitch chat, and I will do my best to respond to whichever ones I can, or whichever ones I feel comfortable responding to. I think my number one promise to myself is that I will protect my mental health throughout this whole set of shenanigans, plural, multiple shenanigans. And as long as I'm protecting my mental health and taking care of my own well-being, I am more than happy to answer whatever questions you want. So fire away. You can drop them in the chat. And if you don't want to ask them in the chat, you can join the Discord, which if somebody wants to run the Discord, there's like a Discord Slack command, or not Slack, but like chat command. If you want to run the Discord command, you can get a link. We have mods there, the same mods that do the content moderation on Hachyderm. So please be on your best behavior and follow the rules. And you can ask in the Hachyderm channel, and if you drop it in the next day or so, you know, I'll do my best to follow up and give you all a thoughtful response. So if you don't want to ask here live on Twitch, and you have a question or you want clarity on something, please go ask there. And after all of this is done, so, you know, tomorrow, 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now in the future, 100 years from now, and, you know, my embodiment is living on in the form of an artificial intelligent cyborg in the bowels of the internet on the moon somewhere. If and when you get there, ask me whatever questions you want, and I'll answer you. I'm one of the most contactable, reachable humans on the planet. You can email me. You can send me a message in Discord. Those are probably the two best for right now. A lot of folks have like means of messaging me otherwise. I will continue to be here on Twitch, so you can just come to Twitch and just drop in the chat whenever you want. And if none of those work, you can shoot a message to the account Hachyderm, and they'll be able to track me down and find me. So anyway, how can I help? Seriously, there's been a lot of really nasty things going on. I don't really want to get into the details. I don't think that's productive. And frankly, like engaging with that type of stuff is the opposite of what I want. So people have opinions. That's awesome. I love people. I encourage everyone to have whatever opinions you want. And I understand. You know, the Fediverse is the Fediverse, and Hachyderm is Hachyderm, and whether or not you like Hachyderm and you love it and it's made your life better and it gave you a safe home when you left Twitter, or you view Hachyderm as outright classism and gentrification, whatever, I deeply respect you, and I will do everything I can to talk to you and communicate with you any way I can. I think that would be the one thing I could ask for, is like, I would prefer if we just communicated. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna go get in the chat and let's get some of this communication going, and I will do what I can to answer any questions. Also, how the heck is everyone doing? Like, side note, sidebar, I haven't streamed in months. I've been so busy with work, I haven't even been online. I feel like the gang is back here again. How's everybody doing? It's good to see you all, and I hope I can really get back into the swing of things here. So I'm taking a small vacation, and by that I mean I'm gonna go just kind of like hang out in the desert for about 2 weeks alone and get away from technology for a while and recenter myself, maybe do some running in the desert, and I'll just try to come back with a big smile on my face, and then I hope I'll be able to do some more live streaming and get back into writing Rust with Aura again. So anyway, let's go look at the chat. So we'll scroll all the way up to the top. Benson, it's good to see you. Mittens the Killer Bunny is here. So Benson says thanks. Fohammer says hi. It's good to see you, Fo. Welcome in, Fohammer. Thank you for the subscription, Formally Science. You've subscribed for 13 months. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Let's see. PJ Silney says, damn, I haven't logged into the Fediverse in a minute. What did I miss? What did you miss? I think honestly, if I was to really explain this, like, what did you miss? If I was to really like capture it, I would say the human condition is extremely, extremely sensitive. And there are some horrible people in the world who have done some horrible things. And I deeply, deeply feel very sad for myself, for my family, and for everyone else on the Fediverse that we live in a world where this amount of division can go down. And I think I'm seeing a lot of things that make me sad. And I wish I could do something about it. And unfortunately, I'm looking at the situation, and I think in order to protect my mental health, I'm gonna pull a Bilbo Baggins here. Today is my 111th birthday, and put on the ring and disappear. Which frankly sounds great. So let's see. Somebody wants to know if Pleroma is cool yet. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on Pleroma. I couldn't tell you anything about it. Black Zillion says, welcome back. It's good to see you, Black Zillion. PJ says, I tried to avoid all social media. Check Insta to see where my food truck will be. So much better for my mental health. Honestly, that's where I'm at with the whole thing. Like, I've gotten so used to just being glued to my phone. Like, I want to get back to the point where, like, I leave my phone places and I forget where it is. That's like my SLO for like how I'm doing with like my social media. So I think I'm gonna just leave social media in general. I still want to blog, I still want to write, I still want to stream, I still want to work and contribute to computer science and open source. I think I'm just gonna kind of leave the posting out of it for a while. So if you want to follow me on Twitch, I'll definitely be here on Twitch. I just think I'm kind of done with the microblogging sites for a minute. I'm gonna try out Blue Sky, I think, for a little bit. There seems to be some friends there, and I've been having a good time sarcastically joking with them. And it's been good to see like some folks again. So I'll give it a try. I'm probably gonna delete that one as well. But anyway, I digress. Fafina Buddha's here, says sleepy howdies to the wonderful hackers out there. I love to see. Let's see. Fohammer says welcome. Vaughn Explaino says hi. Hi Nova, it's been a while. Fohammer says breaking news, it's Nova's fucking show. Awesome. Rage Cuddle says hi. I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing okay. I actually feel really. I went to the climbing gym in downtown earlier today, and it was really nice. Got to see some good friends. There was like a group of like 3 other trans climbers that I hang out with, and we had like transgender climbing night. It was really fun. I don't know. I always feel safer with other people around anyway. Here for you, Chris, and watching and taking in every word. Hey, Madeline, it's good to see you. Argentberry says dog. The Geek Pirate says, I think so. Hazel says, I didn't think Nova directly triggered it, but that was wild for sure. Cat pics are the best use of Mastodon. Honestly, I think that's the thing I'm going to miss the most is Catterday, if I had to be honest. So we have a Discord link. The idea of Alan is here. Mittens the Killer Bunny says, how does social media thingies feel to you in general? I've been breaking from Twitter, Mastodon too. Now we have Blue Sky and these others coming up. What do you think? I think one of the great things that social media is doing is, like I had mentioned earlier, it's surfacing a lot of the human condition and a lot of the problems in the world in a good way, right? I'm glad we're surfacing these problems, and it sucks that people are having to go through it. However, I think that like one of the things that comes to mind is like community size. I'm pretty convinced that there is like Dunbar's number, like a glass ceiling of community size. And when you surpass a certain number, like the rules change. There's like an inflection point of like how many people are in a community. And when you grow to a few, there's like 3 or 4 of them if you were to like plot them on a graph. There's like the first one, which is around probably 20,000 people, where it turns like it goes from a community to like a populace, right? And then you like are dealing with like scale problems. So that's where a lot of like the dehumanization comes in, where it's like you're no longer talking to a person, you're calling a 1-800 number. You're no longer dealing with like Janet in HR, you're dealing with a robot and you take a number, right? Like it's no longer personal. Maybe that's a better word for it. It's like it's depersonalized. And so I think there's like other ones as well when you get into the millions where like things get even more exciting. But I think like social media has surfaced these points for me. And I think that there is a lot of pressure to like be perceived and to give off a good perception of yourself. And I just don't know how much I personally want that in my life right now. I think some people can handle it, and I totally deeply respect them for that. But I think right now I'm exhausted. Nice to meet you, exhausted. Right? Like I'm very tired. Togglebit says, I have a question. Are you having a wonderful day? I hope you do. I am, Togs. It's good to see you, Togglebit. How are you doing? Togglebit, I need to actually tell you something when I got you here. So we started, when I say we, like a small group that I am in at work. So I work at GitHub now. We started writing Rust, and it was because of me, and I started writing Rust because of you. And so like GitHub, if anybody here uses GitHub, I can't say too much, but there's definitely things in production today that you use and click on every day that are written in Rust, that I wrote, that are specifically attributed back to Togglebit. So shout out to Togglebit for influencing the broader open source Git systems of the world. Y'all don't even know how cool Togglebit is. That guy's awesome. He's like my favorite Rust streamer. So let's see. Evan Infinite says, might be unrelated to the server itself, but what are your thoughts on Blue Sky versus Mastodon? What do you think each does well, poorly, etc.? Where do you see Blue Sky's pitfalls? So the thing that's important to me is data privacy. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I turned on Mastodon. I don't, like, as you deal with things like Twitter and Blue Sky and like even what we had to go through at Nivenly, at some point you have to engage with capitalism. At some point, full stop, full fucking stop. Like, and whatever spin you want to put on it, like I'll challenge that because it's very difficult to reconcile. I understand that. But at some point you have to interface with capitalism because the internet doesn't work without capitalism. It's just not, right? Like there are plenty of non-capitalist entities that contribute to the internet, and ideally it would work without capitalism. However, right, like consumerism and money keeps the internet online, and if you have an iPhone, that is a consequence of capitalism, and if you go on the internet and you pay your ISP, that's a consequence of capitalism. And I wish deeply that it wasn't the case, but it is the case. And I think that as I'm looking at this, it's just hard to reconcile, right? So at some point money needs to get involved, and then when money gets involved, that's where like property laws and IP laws get involved, and that's where like you really start to lose me. That's where this whole thing breaks down, right? I strongly disagree with this whole concept of like private ownership, at least to the degree that we see it today. And my big beef with Blue Sky and Twitter is like, it's all wrapped up in IP law. Every time you click that post button, that's no longer your property. Legally, somebody else owns your shit. And therein lies a whole can of worms worth like unpacking. There are trademark and copyright policies and IP policies and laws, and the EU continues to like strengthen their policies around us. And like there are multiple generations and thousands of people across the world who like are trying to shape this. And I'm looking at it as kind of like a, wow, like we're just going to go give all of our shit back to another corporation again. We all know how well that went in the first place. And anyway, like that's the first thought that comes to mind. I think the second thought is like, it's all about the people, right? When we set up Mastodon, and over here behind me, it was like a group of my friends. It was fine. We was cat picks. We didn't really federate with anyone. we didn't really follow anyone. We just kind of like hung out and, you know, did our thing and goofed off. And, you know, now it's grown into this whole other giant thing, and I've decided to keep it online for the sake of like helping other folks out. And it's just been an interesting experiment, to say the least. So the good thing about Mastodon, I don't want this to be like a fuck the Fediverse party, because like I actually really like a lot of the aspects of the Fediverse. The good thing about the Fediverse is you own your data. Well, in the case of Hachyderm, Nivenly, a nameless, faceless, nonprofit 501c3, controls the data, and it's owned by the general public, which is about the closest I could get to giving the service away. And so, while also still protecting it from like the evil corporations, which I think this is another thing that like is very interesting to think about, is a lot of the IP law is defensive, right? Like if somebody came online and was like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, opinion on this product, on that product, on this, on that, at some point, corporate attorneys are going to get involved. And if you don't have IP law, if you're not playing the same game as them, you're likely going to be the one who gets fucked. So what do? You tip your toe a little bit further into the game of capitalism, right? You tip your toe deeper into the game to protect yourself, and therein lies a big problem in my mind. And I personally, I'm young. I don't have a good way of reconciling this today. Okay, so that's blue sky. Let's see. You will be on the Fediverse, or will you no longer be using it altogether? I will be leaving the Fediverse entirely. Good question. Great fucking question. I'm done. Think of it as like my extended hiatus. I don't know. That account, like by the end of the Twitch stream today, that account is going to be locked. I'm going to remove all of my followers. I'm going to just like keep the account online for like historical purposes, but I'm no longer going to use the Fediverse. I'm done. I'm out. I love you all. I'll be on writing my blogs if you want to subscribe to my RSS feed. Otherwise, you can email me, or you can hang out in the Discord and on Twitch. But I am at the point where I think the Fediverse is taking more from me than I am getting back from the Fediverse. And it's getting a little too invasive and disruptive for me at this point. And frankly, if it's not working out, then like it's like a bad relationship, right? Like read the writing on the wall, take the hint, get the fuck out, right? I don't want to hurt anyone. I love people. I want everybody to be happy. So anyway, let's see. Ben Ramsey says, wow, that's a testament to a good community building. Okay, and MR Velik says, I know sometimes after you put your whole soul into something for a while, you just want to totally dust your hands off of it due to stress associated. Do you feel like you kind of just weren't feeling it after the chaos of the huge user influx? So I personally, I think like, honestly, this is probably the number one problem, is the expectations that people have of an admin is not something I signed up for. So like, I'm more than happy to keep the server online. I am more than happy to facilitate the community, manage money, give the fucking all of the money away. I don't care. All of that's easy for me. But the like, you are the politician and the public face, and you need to go make statements, and we're gonna like latch on to everything and not communicate. Like that was very difficult for me. And so, and maybe I'm just old and stupid, and I am just the problem with the world, and I should just like go and do some soul searching, which I'm open to doing. I just, and you know, I'm gonna need to take some time and figure this out. So, do you think the huge influx of users had anything to do with it? I don't think so, right? I don't think it has anything to do with the user base or the size. I think it has everything to do with like, I just kind of just need a break, and whoever set these expectations that if you're an admin, you need to go and perform these, you know, these certain roles and responsibilities. Like, I guess I missed the memo, because I don't know what those roles and responsibilities necessarily are. And, you know, last I checked, like it was our instance, and, you know, I could kind of do whatever I wanted, but I guess that's not the way things work, and I am learning, right? So it's nice to see you here, Madeline, right? Yeah, so Mads is here. Hey, we're so happy you're back. It's good to see you, Madeline. How's the new job? how's the new job? One of the things I was just so proud of you for getting that job and coming as far as you have. I'm so happy. And it was a pleasure to help you land your first tech job. I'm happy that I was able to help you out and tee you up for, I don't even know if I teed you up. You did all the hard work. I just like sent an email and you got the job. But I'm here to help any way I can. And I don't know, like I talk about you to my partner. I just am so stinking proud of you. So let's see. Rage Cuddle says, how long do you think it will be before someone has Mastodon compatible software written in Rust? It already exists. So it's already ready already. So there's a, let's see, it's a activity pub Rust. I think it's Mastodon maybe, let's see. Yeah, here it is, Rustodon. Here you go. Rustodon is a Mastodon compatible federated social media server. It uses ActivityPub. And there you go. And you can go see the people who work on it. Awesome. This is great. So Mints the Killer Bunny says, you know those photos of the sky you did a bit ago? Make sure you bring your camera to the desert. Thank you. I will certainly try to bring the camera to the desert. I think it's something that I want to do, and I plan on spending many, many nights out there under the stars alone. And so like taking the camera with me and taking photographs of the sky really reminds me of how small I am. I fucking love it. Even just staring at the sky. I could just like one of my favorite things is just like cowboy camp. Just go out in the desert and just like walk and just like sleep and just like try to get more in tune with the land. Think about all the stupid shit that land has seen, and I don't know. It just touches me in a special place. I have, as you all know, I have strong opinions on private land and how much I fucking hate it, but that's just me. So anyway, let's see. The ad breaks might have clobbered discussion out of the reasons for leaving the Fediverse. I'm so curious, what generically was the cause for leaving? So I think it's number one, it's not necessary. So it's two things, right? So like number one, I'm stepping down as the admin, or I'm removing myself from the admin slot. Like, in fact, we already did it. So like, I don't know what it was, but something about, my picture used to be right here. And I didn't do anything. Like, this is the thing that was like really just like difficult for me to understand, is like, I didn't even post. I never joined we have community calls. I never joined them. I don't even know how to deal with a mod report. I've literally never fucking responded to a mod report ever. Like ever. Like ever in the history of Hachyderm have I responded to a mod report. And but like, because my face was there, that was me. I was the head person in charge. And so that was the first thing I did, was just like, okay, we're gonna get me off of this spot and give it over to Nivenly, which was the original intent anyway. And then the second thing is, I'm just kind of like looking at all of this and I'm like, man, I'm exhausted. I need a break. And I just caught myself worrying a lot about what people were saying and what people were thinking, and I was second guessing myself, and you know, clearly something wasn't working, whether it was me or the Fediverse in general, or a combination of both. And I guess like I'm just one of those folks where it's like I'm just gonna I'm gonna take the peaceful way out, right? I don't want to fight with anyone. I don't. And frankly, I'll tell y'all the same thing I tell my wife over and over again, right? I just want to work on the kernel and like hang out in my office and drink coffee and like hang out with my friends. And so if I can keep doing that and continue my work in open source, that's where I want to be in my life. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to go focus on that. Hopefully that answers your question. Would it be or have been possible to use an alt as a site admin and not have a spotlight on you? I mean, I think that would have been possible, and like maybe I'll, you know, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm certainly gonna coach whoever comes in to like how to operate the infrastructure, because that's what I know how to do. Everything else you're going to have to defer to the community and Discord that we've been building. And there's, I think, 30 or 40 people there. So there's, there's teams and schedules, and there's like a whole thing going on. So, now that group and the general members of the Nivenly Foundation, it's a democratic foundation at the end of the day, right? They can decide what to do. I'm going to give it over to the community, and we're going to let the community run this, which is, frankly, I think going to be a lot better for everyone. So I do think having an alt here, and honestly, like, I kind of just like don't like this idea of like having this thing here, because I think it like creates this sense of like, this is the person who represents the community, and like I don't want to represent Hachyderm. I want people to represent themselves, right? And so I think this is definitely a much healthier and sustainable approach. Don't you know that you're going, that it's 7 a.m. here? Just dropping by to thank you for the energy building this community. Be safe and loved. Thanks, Drakkar. Would you consider keeping your Hachyderm as a publish-only bot to share what you're working on and when you're streaming? Says this is Miss M. Maybe. I mean, maybe we can create a second account that's just like, Chris Nova Twitch alerts or something. And I mean, I don't know. We'll have to like ask the Discord or the Twitch mods to see if we can like automate something with Firebot or something. I'm not opposed to it. I think the thing I want to stay away from is like the engagement. Right? I caught myself being like very, very disruptively like drawn into these like very passionate conversations and these passionate threads. And I just think that like maybe that's a sign that like it would be better without me, right? And so I just want to stay away from like a large amount of engagement. That's the thing I don't want to do, and I've deliberately tried not to do. I want to not engage. And I think the way to do that is just getting the account and just removing myself from the Fediverse in general, which I intend to do. And after tonight, we will do. My mind is made up. So Van Kluver says, I missed the stream. It's like literally one of the places I can actually be on Twitch where people that are remotely connected to. Hoping to see you back more, Chris Nova. Thank you. I want to come back more. I miss Twitch. I think I miss Twitch more than anything, just because like I feel like we had a good thing going here, right? We had a good community, we had mutual respect, we were productive, we got to be nerds, we like had our morning coffee. It was a good time. I want to bring that back. Honestly, if I could just pick up the Fediverse and drop it over here and then pick up Twitch and put it back here, I would do that. I would just one-to-one, just the old switcheroo, just flop them out right now. Log one. Oh, Cal. Oh, hey, Sean. Sean basically says Dunbar number-ish. Yes. Van Kluver says, I feel like I barely have any idea of what's going on, so I guess that's a good sign of the level of social media consumption. I mean, nothing's going on is the thing, right? It's been relatively boring, to be honest. I think that we're just learning a lot about the culture of the Fediverse. And I think that I am so happy that people are finding safe communities, and I never want to be in the way of anyone who needs safety or a strong community. Never. So this is Miss N says 100% on Dunbar number. Folks are talking about Togglebit. I think having spheres where folks can float is key. I do think so. I think one of the things that and maybe this is just the performance engineer in me and dealing with complicated distributed systems that's about to come out and talk. But I think one of the things that like you have to understand about complex systems is that the system behaves. The system has behavior. It tends in different directions, and there's bottlenecks and thresholds, and there's different bits of behavior, and the different subsystems impact each other, and given various conditions you'll see like unprecedented things will occur, and there's all this mysterious, and like to me that's what I use the term organic for that. It's like this organic complex system behavior, and it's very hard to measure, it's very hard to predict. This is like what I've done my thesis on in computer science, and I think the Fediverse is a shining example of this behavior. And looking at this, I think that one of the things that will, this is informed by my knowledge of distributed systems in computer science, but one of the things that will help the Fediverse more than anything is figuring out how to get the bubbles communicating with each other. And that can come in the form of coalitions, pacts, covenants, open discords, open forums, but without communication, I can tell you right now, the whole thing's gonna fall apart. Every distributed system I know where we have these little independent systems that assume they have total autonomy over everything, but they're still receiving traffic and inputs and outputs, and they're hooked up to other systems. Every one of those that was designed with the belief that it is has full autonomy and full scope of the world, that is the number one problem in distributed systems. And we see that organically with humans as well. Humans and computers are very, very much aligned. If you follow me before, you know my thoughts on this. So anyway, Mittens the Bunny says, is Velvet on your radar? I have no idea what that is. Cool. This is why radio's the future. Ham radios, thank you for the follow. If you think about it, it's simple messaging with limits. Interface with capitalism thing. I may write software that's free and open as it ought to be, but I write for a computer that was purchased, published into another computer that costs money to operate, and you'll need to pay for access to your own equipment. Right. You're on Blue Sky sparkingly, right? So not a full leave. Yeah, and one of the things I did is I actually, like, I feel almost bad that I did this, but whatever. I totally, like, I wouldn't say I trolled, but I was just like, my first post was very much like, is this thing on? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm pretty fed up with the Fediverse. That place is toxic. Anyway, I heard some of my old friends are here. Hello. And I think that one of the big takeaways I've had with the Fediverse is that it's been difficult. And that's okay. It's okay that it's been difficult, and that's maybe a sign that my 1 year experiment and my 1 year anniversary, that's a sign it's time to say goodbye. And that's okay. And I will love you all no matter what. But I am on Blue Sky. It seems, I mean, it's a private corporation. Like, I'm not taking it too seriously. I'll follow along and see what happens. But yeah, like, I'm definitely not going to, like, continue to do what I used to do on Twitter or Mastodon on this thing, right? I'm not going to be like, come read my blogs, and I'm going to go invest in, like, spending all this time trying to craft perfect tweets and get followers and try to be an influencer and, work the fuck all that. I'm not going to do that. I don't need to do that right now in my life. I deeply respect anybody who wants to be a professional influencer and is attempting to grow a following. And if you need my help, let me know. I'll do it for free just because I think you're awesome. But I don't need that. That's not for me at this point in my life right now. So let's see what's next. Mittens the Killer Bunny says, into blog site posts as they would social media. Blogs need to come back. I want to hold that paper in my hands, not snippets. Awesome. I feel that fierce. I don't know, just haven't felt the need to tie in. I do absolutely love Hachyderm community though. The folks who post very poignant stuff are there. It feels way less watered down than Twitter. And I think that's one of the things that I really struggled to reconcile with the whole, like, administered by, right? Like, I'm definitely not the voice of Hachyderm. Like, if y'all have ever followed literally anyone on Hachyderm, like, I would say most people disagree with me, or at least don't care about me or even know who I am. And, like, that's, in my opinion, good, right? Like, we don't want to have the, like, lead singer of the band of Hachyderm. Like, we don't need, like, the whatever, like, march into battle, like, champion. Like, we're building a community, not a group of people with one representative in the front, right? And so, like, I personally am all about folks having their own content and their own opinions. And so hopefully removing me from here will help with that. That's my intention anyway. It's my hope. I still have hope. That's probably one of the things I should share. I have hope, both for the Fediverse and for humans in general, and just for Hachyderm. I think all of these things are going to survive, and I hope they do. It's so good. I want to cry in gratitude every day. I keep sleeping every night, feeling grateful for everyone who helped me, and you're at the top of the list. I will send you a big email telling you the details. So the context here, Madeline, if it's okay with you, I'll just share a small amount of the context. The context here is, like, Madeline she's new to tech. And every year I try to, like, I've been doing this for about 3 or 4 years now, but I try to, like, single out folks, who I think would be strong members of technology, And I've focused on queer people. I've tried to focus on Black people. I've focused on Indigenous people. And I try to help them any way I can, whether that's, I've sent some people to some conferences. I just put it on my credit card. I've helped people get jobs. I've helped people polish resumes. Sometimes it's only like an afternoon worth of work. Sometimes I'll carve out like several hours and actually like sign myself up for like a mentorship and just mentor someone and just like single-handedly move them from where they are to like the next step where they want to be. And I'm a deep believer in like very deep one-on-one mentoring instead of like abstract generalized mentoring. So like instead of just like coming on and giving a bunch of tips and tricks and advice to a group of people, I actually say like I'm going to find one person and single them out and focus on that person. And the idea is that they will grow and recreate this, and it'll kind of be like the snowball effect. And it's been going well so far. It's a long history of this, and like it's carried on. And there's like, I have like some great grandchildren of like the original first people I mentored who are like here, and it's like second and third and fourth degrees at some time. Anyway, Madeline was a very easy one. She's super fucking smart. And she's working on JavaScript, and she was looking for a job, and I pulled some strings and I got a connection. She interviewed, she knocked it out of the park. She got hired, and now she's having a great time at her new job, and she's progressing in her life, and she's growing as a human. And I just couldn't be more proud of her. And I think she's fucking awesome, and you should all stop what you're doing and go follow her on Twitch right now. Hazel's here. And Hazel's another one. Hazel, I could pick on you and say the same thing about you. Not that I want to pick on you, Hazel, but Hazel's somebody else that I've singled out, that I've taken a personal interest in trying to coach and guide into a leadership position in this industry. And Hazel here is on the docket to be a board member of the Nivenly Foundation. And wants to take a step into become, I'm sorry if I spoke too early, but I'm working with Hazel right now. And so these are just things that I try to do. When I can. I don't have as much time as I used to, but I would love to. So let's see here. Sounds like you used up all your spoons. I am. I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. And also, like I said, I'm going on vacation. Well, vacation. I'm gonna go just like sleep in the dirt for 2 weeks next to my car. And maybe I'm just burnt out in general. I just need a break. Who knows? Tomorrow's another day. Right? Tomorrow's another day. What are you talking about? What did I miss? Says Danielle. I think somebody will likely catch you up, but basically I am removing myself as the Hachyderm admin, and I am leaving the Fediverse, and that's okay. And we're okay with that. I'll be here on Twitch, and Hachyderm will stay online. Emergent behavior, it's not a bug. It's just something neat the system does, not because of what we did. Coding with strangers, nothing crazier than the other day on the internet, basically. As much as the internet can suck, I love the internet sometimes. It's like anything can happen. It's just like chaos soup. It's like the valence electrons of the universe, but in the form of like HTTP requests, and who knows what's going to pop into existence today or what the conditions will yield. I could just watch the internet. It's like the earth is turning into an organ system. I just absolutely am fascinated by it. So anyway, Madeline says, share whatever you like. Thank you. Benson says, +1 to all of that. Looks like folks are congratulating Madeline. Hazel Weekly says, aw, thank you. No, you're fine, says Hazel. Thanks, Hazel. Mittens the Killer Bunny says, what desert? Not like Joshua Tree climbing, or I will be climbing. So I'm going to be doing, I don't want to say too much about where I'm going, but I'll definitely be like doing rock climbing, in America. I would like to share photos, but I feel like honestly, if I start posting a bunch of photos, like I'm going to need to do alt text, and I'm probably not going to be able to do like the hundreds and hundreds of photos I want to do for my phone on limited connection. So maybe I'll like upload an album or something and share with folks, and I'll put it on my blog. I don't know. Maybe you know what I'll do? I know what I'll do. There's a climbing channel in Discord, and I'll go and drop them in the Discord channel, and then we'll see if maybe we can't like have somebody share some of them on Mastodon, and we can pick out the good ones, and that way we can add like really informative alt text on the good ones. We'll figure something out. But yes, there will be photos. I will have my camera, and I will do my best to share them somehow. Let's see. I just want to say thank you for creating Hachyderm. It's the only single place in regards to the size with the most mutual respect and just overall niceness I have experienced. Happy to see you prioritizing your health, and I wish you the best. Thank you. It's going to be the best. I absolutely love it. Are you joining Blue Sky? So I showed folks earlier, I'm already there, and I've been up to my normal shenanigans, throwing shade on the Fediverse. You know, if I rage quit the Fediverse tonight, will y'all come and watch? And cheer me on. And so anyway, I'm on Blue Sky, but like, again, like, I'm not gonna check it. I don't want to check it. I don't want to live in this world anymore. I want nothing to do with this stuff. So anyway, what we were gonna try to do is, there is a way. We're gonna actually SSH into production really quick. There is a way for me to basically lose all of my followers. I can just go and I can delete all of my followers. As promised, I'm here to support. Hey, Justin, how's it going? So I was considering, and maybe this is an exercise for tomorrow, but I was considering going and just doing the command to just basically scrub the database of all my followers and send out unfollow requests throughout the Fediverse. But yeah, I think that, you know, really the one thing I wanted to communicate was, if we go back to the About page, that the administration is no longer under my name, which I'm very grateful for, and that Hachyderm will stay online. It'll just be online, and it'll continue to do exactly what it's, literally nothing's going to change. I wasn't doing anything anyway. I will just no longer be the face of Hachyderm, and I absolutely think this is a brilliant idea. So anyway, yeah. It's been real, right? It's exactly 1 year after I spun up the server right behind me. So it's been really, really great. So anyway, any other questions, or I'm gonna wrap it up. We've been streaming for about an hour, and I need to go upstairs and have family time. Will you host the servers behind you? Oh God, no, I'm not hosting anything else for the general public out of that rack ever again in my life. That is now my completely cordoned off lab where I do my kernel work and work on my projects for my secret experiments that I'm working on. And it's no longer a production server. It is a development lab at this point. Keep your blog up to date. I would still love to see your write-ups, thoughts like you do for your big projects. So I actually have a blog I was gonna write. I've been doing a lot of work at GitHub. And I really need to write a blog because I've actually done some really cool shit at GitHub that I just haven't had time to write up yet. But like, I feel like I'm, you know what, I can say this. I know for a fact I can. Every week for the past 6 weeks, about once a week, usually around 8 a.m. Pacific, I have been DDoSing the bejesus out of GitHub. 300x our normal production traffic, and I'm sure y'all can imagine like what our production traffic looks like. And so like for 1 hour during the heaviest point of the day where the most people use GitHub, I literally just like unleash a total concentration of traffic against the site. And I've been working on the kernel, and I've been doing performance engineering, trying to figure out how to make GitHub faster. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been super fucking fun. It has been really, really fun, and it's gonna take some more time. I still have a lot of work to do, but I'm gonna try to write it up on my blog and probably on the GitHub blog and like make it a thing. But it's been really cool to like use my specialty and actually do like true low level systems analysis. You could say I like attention, person who throws 300x broad traffic at GitHub. Yeah, that is awesome. Some good Edge LB write-ups in there, I bet. Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of like interesting kernel anomalies, and like I'm gonna have to go and explain like the TCP IP stack in like detail to tell y'all about the work I've been doing. It's been super fun, super fun, and like I got to attribute it back to like some real problems, and like I might even get to like make a GitHub more like awesome for people, and I'm really excited. I don't know, it just sounds cool. Making tiny fast kernels is my weakness. Yeah, so we have Linux kernels. I mean, well, like, that's what I work on. There should be no surprise there. So like, I wish I could like roll my own kernel. Man, after this work, I will tell you guys one thing, tell you folks one thing. If I could go and have my druthers, I would rewrite the entire networking stack in Linux from the ground up. That thing, I should be nice, but fuck, y'all. Have y'all looked at that fucking code recently? Oh man, it is rough. So anyway, like there's a lot going on, and it's grown organically, and it's very difficult to traverse at times, but yeah, I think it's totally fascinating. Okay, it is time for me to go. Last call for questions. Anything else? Any other questions? What's the problem? Networking stack, is BSD better? I mean, I think functionally the networking stack is great. The code runs medium well, right? Especially for like a kernel that's like as old as it is. I think it's just hard to work on. It's just hard to like, the code is just like very difficult to interface with. Hazel Weekly, I feel attacked. I'm newish here, but I love what you've learned so far from your book and Hachyderm, so thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. I'll be here on Twitch if you need me for anything. I will not be on the Fediverse anymore. I will be gone from the Fediverse forever. So yeah, I love you all. I feel like this is my big Bilbo moment. I'm like afraid to say goodbye because this is it. It's the last call. Do we want to do anything before I'm finally done? Farewell, notifications, and see you. Anything? Do we want to like go and send one more post or anything like that? Love you too, Nova, says Hazel. I don't think so. I think we're out of here. Stay on Twitch. Oh yeah, I'll definitely be here on Twitch. Mic drop emoji. Do y'all want to see them here? We can do a mic drop emoji. Do y'all want to see this? Let's go. Cool. So is there a mic? Let's see, microbe. We want studio microphone, and then we want down. And then we want the peace emoji. I feel like I need to get my fonts updated again. There we go. Cool. There we go. How's that for the mic drop peace emoji? Thanks for all the fish. Make a post with Bitcoin. Like, yeah, like Dogecoin to the moon. Yes. I mean, I don't know. Like this. It's just so fascinating. Man, I love humans. I could just watch humans all day. All right. Mic drop, says Pixel Hero. Cool. There we go. That's it. Mic drop. Emoji. Publish. All right. So we go to preferences. Boom. I'm out. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. I love you. I think you're all beautiful people. I think you're all wonderful people. I will do everything I can to... How can I get on your level in Linux knowledge? Any advice? I don't even know. Read the source code, I guess. That's what I did. We have a Linux command, so run. There you go. We have a command with all my resources here. So those are some good places. And yeah, I'll be here if anyone needs me on Twitch. Find me on Discord. Shoot me an email. nova@nivenly.org. It's .org now. And yeah, if you need anything, I'm here. Or if you want to talk, I'm here. And I'll be on Twitch. Get that camera ready for long exposures. I will be, for sure. All right, so I am out. And I will see you all later. Have a good trip and hope to see you back soon. Have fun climbing and being. Yeah, I think that's going to be the first thing. I have like 3 hours of just closing my eyes and breathing out in the wilderness, trying to center myself. Okay. thanks for the 1 year of Fediverse experiments, I guess. I don't know what else to say. I love you. I love you all. I'll see you next time.